interesting that Megan, when you walked in, along with Alana, it got quiet, it got hushed. When I walked in, everybody, it's like I was borscht, but Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is so good to be together on this really beautiful evening. And that we, on evenings like this, when we look up and we can see the sun that's still shining through the windows, we know that summer is still here. It's going to be no time at all that we'll be coming together for Shabbat when it'll actually be dark. And it's a reminder to sort of revel in the beauty and the light that surrounds us while we can. And certainly I am reveling in the goodness that comes when we share the bima with extraordinary people. Being able to share with Megan on the bima and Alana on the bima, who's going to be sharing some words of Torah this evening, and with Paul on the keys. It really is something that is particularly meaningful. So we are going to be turning in our prayer book to Shabbat Hamalka, which can be found on page 10. And Shabbat Hamalka reminds us that sometimes in a time and space we can see the beauty of it all, to be able to understand that there is something about a time and space that can lend itself to the goodness that comes when we fill it with beauty. So let's join together in singing Shabbat Hamalka, which I believe is on page 10, and now I can't find it, but it's at the bottom. Okay, there it is. Thank you.
And before we start, I just wanted to mention that this particular setting is by Max Janowski, who was actually a music director here at Congregation Shalom for a little while.
Shabbat Shalom U'Mevorach Boachem
The sun on the treetops is no longer seen. Come gather to welcome the Sabbath, our Queen. Behold her descending, the holy, the blessed, and with her the angels of peace and of rest. Draw near, and here abide. Draw near, O Sabbath bride. Peace also to you, you angels of peace. What a beautiful setting that was. I don't think I've ever heard that. And so I hope that that's something we'll hear more of in the years to come. It was absolutely gorgeous. So my friends, or rather my children, I always say to them as I'm dropping them off during the summer at camp or before they head off to sleepaway camp, I always say, make new friends but keep the old. One is silver, the other gold. I think it was the Girl Scouts code, right? And it's always a reminder that friendship is so important in our lives, which is why it's such a beautiful thing to be able to invite a friend of Ilana's to join her up on the bima. Lily, if you'd like to step forward, as the two of you have the honor of kindling our Shabbat candles. You know, one of the beautiful things about friendship is it brings light into our lives, and it's right that the two of you should be lighting these Shabbat candles together. So we turn to page 3, turn back to page 3 in our Siddur, and let's read responsively. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lechad likner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Let there be Shabbat light. Let there be Shabbat joy. Let there be Shabbat. We are now going to be turning in our Siddur to page 20 as we continue to greet the Sabbath bride, page 20, as we turn to the final verse being verse 9. We will rise and face the doorway. As we face that doorway, we're greeting the Sabbath bride into this moment, into our lives. And it is the tradition as we recite Bawi Kala, which means, "O come, O bride," that we bow and greet the bride. So let's turn to page 20 as we join together in the singing of Lechad Odi.
Lechad Odi likra kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Lechad Odi likra kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'ribur echad ishmiyanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lechad Odi likra kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Lechad Odi likra kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki mekor ha'berachamei rosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'makar Shabbat tehila. Lechad Odi likra kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Lechad Odi likra kala
We continue now on page 27. Let's read responsively. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. We continue with the Hatzi Kaddish on page 26.
Yikada v'yikada shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei.
B'chayechonu yomechonu chayedecho bet Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, ubizman kariv. V'yimeru Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam lo me'omaya, yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei dekudasha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, damiran b'yama, v'yimeru Amen. We continue reading together at the bottom of page 27. Entrances to holiness are everywhere, and the possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. We rise now as we turn to the call to worship on page 28. We continue now reading in the English at the top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans into infinity, you set it course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. We continue now on page 32 with a prayer that reminds us of all the love that God holds for each and every one of us. Ahavat olam.
Ahavat olam. Israel, Amecha avta, Amcha avta, Torah u'mitzvot,
We continue now with the watchword of our faith, the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated. We continue now with Ve'ahavta on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. We continue now reading responsively at the top of page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
Ya bye bye bim bim bam, ya bye bye bim bam, ya bye bye bim bim bam, ya bye bye bim bam, ay 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 ay, ya bye bye bim bam, ay 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 ay, ya bye bye bim bam. Mi kamocha elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, norati lodo. Norati lodo sevele, malachutecha rauvanecha, mokei ayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, zeli zeli hanu ve'amru, Adonai imlok leolam va'ed, yai bye bye bim bim bam, yai bye bye bim bam. Ya bye bye bim bim bam, ya bye bye bim bam, ay 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 ay, ya bye bye bim bam, ay 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 ay, ya bye bye bim bam.
V'ne'emar kifad Adonai et Yaakov v'golom yad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We continue now at the top of page 43. Let's read together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue now with the Vishamru on page 44. We rise now as we turn to the tefillah on page 46.
Adonai tzefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'nehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibur le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav lehoshia. Morir atah, Mechakel chaim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somek noflim v'rafeh cholim, umatir asurim, umakayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha ba'gevurot, umido melach, melech memit umachayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yehallelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
You may be seated. We continue now reading responsively at the top of page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We continue now at the top of page 57. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amacha Yisrael, u'tefilatam be'ava tekabel, u'tehil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Let's read together at the bottom of the page. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, shotcha levadecha b'yirah na'avod. We continue now the Hoda'ah, a prayer of thanksgiving that reminds us to be grateful for all of the gifts that come our way. And on a Shabbat like this, I'd imagine that there are good things to share. So I'd like to invite anybody that's here, if you've got something that you're celebrating this week or perhaps last week that you'd like to share with the community so that we can celebrate in this joy together, please do feel free to shout that out to us so that we have reason to celebrate with you. I got one. My kids are coming back on Monday from camp. Can't wait to see them, take them for ice cream, do all the fun things that we do when they get back from camp. Roger?
I am so proud that Alana, who I had the honor of teaching in 5th grade, and later became a Madrika, and further teaching. It is such a joy to listen to Alana.
We all get to Shep Nachas for Alana, that's for sure. That's absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Roger. Anybody else have anything good this week they want to share with the community? All right, those are good things. So we're going to read together on page 59, God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we are thankful. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shemcha u'cha na'eh lehodot. We turn now to the prayer for peace on page 60.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Adom Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom. Ki Adom Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
It's right that we should turn from a prayer for peace, a prayer for shalom, to a prayer for shalem, for a prayer for wholeness. And we are thinking of these dear members of our community who might be in need of a refuat nefesh or refuat haguf, a healing of spirit or a healing of body. Particularly in our hearts and minds, we're thinking of Steve Toplinsky, Fern Drescher, Gershon ben Avraham, Pesha Bluma bat Esther, Ezriel ben Rivka v'Shlomo, Mark Kleinerman, Miriam bat Rachel, Rachel bat Devorah, Shira bat Velva v'Malka, Yisrael Mordechai, Deanna Duker, Rachel Zaram, Ronald Ryder, Barbara Gorski Jacobson, Dick Miller, Leah bat Velma, Stuart Willis, Carrie Zimmel, Keith Mandel, Carolyn Newman, Kelly Adiniak, George Grimm, Patrick Hepe, Gary Elderbrook, Carlene Fox, Ray Cormier, Danielle David Ben Mayor Nahama, Hannah Loyo, Brett Stock, Joyce Paulson, Richard Gralton, Philip Meckler, Eileen Staller, Ruth Beck, Dina Batsasha Rachel, Howard Sosoff, Lawrence Frazen, Devorah Bat Yehudit Ora, Nahum Ben Asher Mishka Dubra, and Helen Angel. If there are names that should be added to this list or any names that should be pronounced differently than I did, I invite you to hold those names in your heart at this time as we turn to words from our tradition. Baruch Atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, the source of healing. We turn to the Mishaberach, which can be found on page 253 in your Siddur.
Strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
With those beautiful words of healing still echoing in our hearts and minds, we take this time now for Tfilat Halev, for the prayers of our own hearts.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Quite a while ago, I came across a simple yet beautiful expression, "You cannot fill from an empty cup." This concept explores our ability to give effort, love, time, and intention to others when we ourselves need the same to be given to us. But if those around us need their cups to be filled, how will we have enough in our cups to spare? This past December, I was weary from the work of a previous trimester in college. Being surrounded by cold air, far from friends I used to be a 30-second walk away from, and existing with what at the time felt like a very empty cup. It's hard having a winter break birthday, not being able to join hands with my friends in neighboring dorms or have all the best singers I know serenade me. The Willinson rendition is quite different, but I still appreciate it. Being so far away from them added to the loneliness already inflamed by my academic exhaustion. On the 19th of December, the day before my 21st birthday, that loneliness was put on hold as my dearest friend Lily stood in my doorway with a gift basket. Her showing up, making the drive from Middleton, Wisconsin, almost 2 hours away to see me, not only filled my cup, but replaced it entirely with a bigger glass, capable of holding and giving that much more. By the time she left the next morning, there was a little more color in my world, a little more laughter in my lungs, and a little more love that had been poured into my cup. This friendship is one that I have prayed for since I was a little girl. The happily paying for coffee, making drive and refusing money for gas, never keeping score, and constantly pouring into each other type of friendship. What makes these relationships so special is the subconscious, visceral urge to give back, to show gratitude for the lifeline of love that these person-to-person connections give us, to identify the community that we have chosen for ourselves, and to look after them the way they look after us. In order to care for our community, to keep filling each other's cups as much as we can, we must be ready to give from our own. In Devarim 15:11, Moses relays God's message. Ki lo yichdal evion mikerev haaretz al kein mitzavecha lemor patoach tiftach et yadcha la'achicha laniecha ulevyonecha ba'artzacha. For there will never cease to be needy ones in your land, which is why I command you, open your hand to the poor and needy kindred in your land. If there are always going to be needy among us or cups to be filled, then why do we continue to pour? Why do we keep showing up if we will never stop needing to? When I think of why, the reasons to continue extending care, showing up without a second thought, I conclude that we must keep doing this because to fill someone's cup, to show up, is an act of love. This is how we support each other, our communities, and those in our land. God commands us to keep giving even when we are in need. In verse 11, there is something very special about the Hebrew words patoach tiftach. This translates to open your open hand. It seems that God is aware of our needing and is asking, no, expecting us to still attend to the needs of others. This week, Moses relays to the Israelites God's commandment to bestow charity and debt forgiveness unto their fellow Israelites. As a result, God will bless them in all their efforts and in all their undertakings. What strikes me about this is the notion that there will always be those in need among us. If there are always those in need, then won't we always be giving without end? How will we continue to give others when we need? It seems to me that when we are supported by those in our land, this support gives us the energy and capacity to keep giving to others who need more in times that we need less, or rather, who need differently than us. As Jews, this portion implores us to take notice of those in our land, to provide them with charity and understanding, and to continue to engage in those efforts without regret. As I wrote this sermon, I thought about all the times my coffee was paid for. Someone made the long drive to me. Every instance a 2 a.m. phone call was picked up first ring, and every single time a loved one has tended to me when I was the needy one among them. Although I am beyond fortunate to reflect that in the times that I have been needy, I have never been in need of a home, a bed, food on the table, or an education that I could not have, I realize that we, whether it be in this land, in the lands of our families and friends, or the lands that we have yet to travel to, will all be needy. We will all face trials that cause us to fall short on our responsibilities. We will all experience challenges that restrict our energy, that decrease our capacity for happiness, and impair our ability to keep going. But knowing that we have people in our land that will give to us gives me every confidence that the cycle of giving, the opening of the hands to the needy in our land, will never cease. This reminds me of our Shabbat candles. When we use the first candle to light the second, does the flame of the first candle cease? No. The second and third candle burn while the first is not diminished. This is the very essence of this Torah portion and God's commandment that Moses relays unto us. As long as we keep pouring into the cups of those in our community that need it, there will be someone in our community who will pour into us. It is this cycle, this reciprocity, and this continuous act of love that allows us to keep pouring. When Lily showed up at my doorstep that cold December morning, she gave me a basket of gifts. Although her showing up was more than enough, she decided to fill my cup that day by giving me what I could not give myself. In that basket sat 6 face masks, a container of Epsom salt bubble bath, some body wash, a headband, my favorite chocolates, a few other self-care items, and a handwritten letter. For my 21st birthday, not only did she gift me with her presence, but she gave to me so that I could give to myself after she went back home to Middleton. Seeing me in need, she poured into my cup until it overflowed. Now, thanks to her, I have a full glass to pour from. And a few weeks ago, I made the drive to her with basket in hand. Now both of our flames can burn and both of our cups are filled. It will always be up to us to continue this cycle, choosing to give to those in our land, because pouring into those we love is pouring into ourselves. Shabbat Shalom.
What a beautiful sermon, Alana. We all need to be reminded of those moments of friendship where, despite whatever darkness might exist in the world, that we can beat it back with the lights that emanate from each other and from the goodness that shines out. And certainly, Alana, we've seen your goodness over the course of this summer and beyond, and throughout all of the years in which I know that you've touched the life of Shalom, and Shalom has touched the life of yours, which is since you were born. So it's very special to share this bima with you and to learn from your wisdom this evening. We are going to turn now in our Siddur to page 282 as we turn to the prayer Aleinu. It's a joy to call upon Michael and Lori Gordon to step forward as they have the honor of opening up our ark doors. We are going to rise together, uplifted as we are from the words of Alana, as we turn to these wonderful words of oneness that remind us to care for each other.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hako, l'tikru l'yotzeh breshit, shelo asanu kogoi haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kocho hamonam, va'anachnu korim u'mishtakavim u'modim livnei melech mochi hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
We remain standing now as we think of dear ones who've entered into life eternal, those for whom we have loved and we have lost. With deep sadness, we share with you the passing of Erika Dolberg, whose funeral will be Sunday morning. We think of these dear people for whom we commemorate during the period of Shiva. We think of Stephen Maglowski, William Schuller, and Robert Strauss. In addition to those names, so too do we think of the period of Shloshim, the 30-day mourning period for Nancy Worgan and Sue Ann Weller. In addition to those names, we think of these dear people who've passed in seasons gone by for whom we recall this evening as it is their yahrzeit. We think of Nisan Barlev, Yaakov Baruch, Mary Bear, Vera Berg, Albert Bello, Ruth Bernstein, Mitchell Bears, Perry E. Cohen, Eva Dietz, Jean Dolgan, Minnie Ellenson, Sam Emold, Pearl Fishman, Joe Gerson, Miriam Ginlin, Molly Gulper, Robin Gratch, Marion Hahn, S. Roger Hirsch, Sandra Hoffman, Myron B. Katz, Susan Carol Copey, Joseph Lurie, Molly Mahler, Paul Moskowitz, Gary Paler, Alan Pohl, Benjamin Resnick, Betty Riley, William Rossman, Charles Rubnitz, Norman Shuminsky, Elaine Schwartz, Vera Sims, Morton Sosoff, Benjamin Stein, Raymond Strauss, Elsie Wagner, Geraldine Weinberg, Max Weiss, Rosalind Wolf, and Frank Zartman. If there are names that should be added to this list or names that should be pronounced differently than I did, or if you're commemorating the yahrzeit of a loved one who was not called, please do call those names out loud as I look in your direction. In addition to the names of our loved ones, so too do we think of all those who died due to war and or terrorism, all those who died in defense of this nation and allied nations' ideals. We think of all those who died due to the terrible viruses of racism and xenophobia, as well as all those who perished during the Holocaust. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we turn to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope. The Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, can be found on page 294, and we recite these sacred words together. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shmei rabbah, v'amad yivrach yiruteh v'amlich malchuteh, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Ulamei Almaya. Yit Barach V'Yishtabach V'Yitpa'ar V'Yitramam V'Yitnaseh. V'Yitadar V'Yitalev V'Yitalal Shmei Dekudisha B'Richu. Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata. Tush Bechata V'Nechemata. Da'amiran B'Alma V'Yimru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say amen. You may be seated. Some announcements to make on behalf of the congregation. First, the high holiday packets have been mailed, so please check your mailbox for your packet. You can also register online on our website. We're once again sending out messages for the month of Elul, which will begin next week, leading up to Rosh Hashanah. If you'd like to receive your daily Elul message, please check the e-blast on our website to sign up. August 19th is the first session of Intro to Judaism 201, High Holiday Prep. And the topic is Unatana Tokef and other transgressive texts of the high holidays. And that class will start at 6 p.m. On August 21st, it's the last concert in our summer music series. We'll have a classical trio of violinist Ilana Sedepen, pianist Yaniv Dinor, and cellist Lynn Kabat, who will play trios by Rachmaninoff and Smetana. Join us on Saturday, September 5th for our Slichot service starting at 6 p.m. We'll have dinner followed by a study session at 7 and then services at 8. Save the date for Congregation Shalom's 75th anniversary celebration. That's taking place on November 6th through 8th. We'll start the weekend with Friday night's Shabbat service and the Sanford J. Ettinger Memorial Lecture featuring our guest speaker, Sarah Hurwitz, which is going to be absolutely amazing. If you got the chance to listen to a podcast from the Shalom Hartman Institute, she was just engaged in a joint interview with her and Yossi Klein Halevi, and it was fabulous. So please do give that a listen and get excited for her being our speaker here. On Saturday, we'll have a Havdalah service followed by a 75th anniversary celebration dinner and program, and conclude the weekend on Sunday with special programming with early childhood and religious school. Women of Shalom is selling Bayside Garden Center gift cards. We're almost at the end of the season, or the season is changing, so maybe you've got new plants to get. So please check out our website or your weekly email to purchase. Every Friday from 11 a.m. till noon, join us for coffee or tea at Shalom Shmooze, in a casual setting to simply be together, sharing conversation and building community. Join us on Saturdays at 9 a.m. for Torah study and 10 a.m. for community Shabbat services. We enjoy a community lunch together following services. So look for further information on all our programs in Pivar Foyer and watch your shofar, emails, Facebook, and the webpage for all of Shalom's happenings. So thank you and Shabbat Shalom. So we are going to turn now to Kiddush, and I didn't invite anybody to actually hold the Kiddush cup. So as we bear testimony to the goodness that comes, and a cup that is absolutely overflowing with blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah l'mikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'charta v'yotanu kidashta mikohamim v'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava uvratzon hinchatanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. We turn now to page 341. 341 as we turn to our closing hymn for the Shabbat, a hymn that is always appropriate with the world in which we live in. Nation shall not take up sword against nation, nor shall they never again study war. We turn to the bottom as we join together in the singing of Lo Yisa Goy.
Lo Yisa Goy el Goy Cherem, Lo Yilmedu od milchama. Lo Yisa Goy el Goy Cherem, Lo Yilmedu od milchama. Lo Yisa Goy el Goy Cherem, Lo Yilmedu od milchama. Lo Yisa Goy el Goy Cherem, Lo Yilmedu od milchama. Lo Yisa Goy el Goy Cherem, Lo Yilmedu od milchama. Lo Yisa Goy el Goy Cherem, Lo Yilmedu od milchama.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.